Hello, everybody. I'm Hailey Brooks.
And I'm John Rotellini.
And we're together, which means there must be a celebrity encounter upon us.
Ooh, but who could it be with? Behold, a guest.
Pam!
Yeah, this is Pam, everybody. Pam, you have a celebrity
Hi,
encounter.
Hailey. Hi, John. Thank you so much for having me. I really appreciate it.
Great to have you on the podcast. So, Pam, you have a celebrity encounter. That is, I assume, why you're here. Who is your celebrity?
That's why I'm here. I'm here for celebrity encounters.
On Earth.
And
That's my purpose on Earth, is to be here.
That's right. That's my purpose here. I am really excited to talk about this celebrity in particular because he's one of actually my favorite people on the planet. His name is Ken Jeong. Are you familiar with Ken Jeong?
We love Dr. Ken
Jeong.
Yeah.
Guy, can I just tell you, as a human being, he is just an awesome person. He is just so lovely. He's not only hilariously funny so I met him a long time ago. It was probably, the 80s or 90s.
Oh, wow. Okay.
The 90s. It was the 90s, I think. And he was doing his residency, I think, in New Orleans. I'm from New Orleans originally.
Wow.
But I had to move because none of my cousins were attracted to me. But
Wait,
thank you,
first of all, hilarious.
I'll be here all week.
Was this residency like doctor residency or
Yes, so he's a doctor, right? He's
Okay.
a real doctor.
Yeah.
And so he was doing his residency at, I think, in New Orleans. And he was also in a sketch group called Brown. And he did improv, and he was in with some other performers like P.H. Fred, who's a great comedian and musician too. And anyway, so P.H. Fred used to book comedy shows, and that's where I met Ken Jeong. Was at one of the comedy shows because I was already doing stand-up in New York, and I came in from New York back to my hometown, and that's where I met him. And he was so funny. His improv, you could see a lot of his improv right now. Sometimes when he goes on a panel as like a guest on a show, and he's like dancing around or crawling on stage. That's like his improv skills. He's got amazing improv skills. So, that's where I met him. And then there was the New Orleans Comedy Festival, and he was in that. And then I ran into him in LA, and I used to see him and perform with him in LA at the clubs.
That's so
Yeah.
cool.
Yeah. So for our viewers watching at home, you've seen Ken Jeong, Dr. Ken Jeong, on a lot of things. You've also heard him on more things than you probably realize. And as you were mentioning, he started off in medicine, actually got his Bachelor of Science from Duke University, and then got his MD from UNC Chapel Hill, and became an actual doctor, not a doctor on TV, although
He's known being a doctor on TV.
That's right, Dr. Ken. From there, though, he did medicine for years until he got to a certain point in his career. Like, he had done a number of different projects, and then many people know him from the Hangover movie series. So it wasn't until the Hangover got big that he actually decided to leave medicine and just go into being an entertainer full-time, which is wild to think about given how much stuff he's been in.
I think he has the perfect opportunity now to have like a surgeon show.
Yes.
Like he makes jokes while cutting into people.
Well, I think he might have called Dr. Ken.
Dr. Ken, yes. It was a show called
What?
Dr. Ken.
A real one?
That was a
Now,
great
here's
idea that
something
you've
interesting.
had.
When he was doing stand-up, and I'd see him in Westwood, I remember the Westwood Brewery, we were standing outside, and he was actually doing, being a regular doctor. Like, I think he worked for Kaiser or something like that. And he was an amazing doctor. He's a very smart guy. Actually, even spoke at the commencement speech for Duke, actually, at one time. He's a big Duke supporter.
Yeah.
So I remember one time we were waiting to go on, and, I said, are you going to do more shows? Have you told your family about what you do? This is before he got married.
Okay.
And he's like, no, his parents still were like, no,
Wow.
They didn't really know he did stand up. Yeah. He was very on the
They were
DL
traditional
about
values.
yeah, because they wanted him to be a doctor. And, I can understand that. But he's so talented as a comedian also. So he's like they call that a double threat? I don't know. Is that a triple threat?
He's got stand-up. He's a doctor.
I'm pretty sure he can sing and dance.
Yeah, he's on The Masked Singer.
That's right. He is a judge on The Masked Singer. And, You mentioned he was great at improv when you were getting to know him.
Yeah.
In The Hangover as Leslie Chow, if I remember right, Mr. Chow.
Mr. Chow.
He did a lot of improv work. As a matter of fact, the scene where he hops out of the trunk of a car buck naked, that's all improv and was not planned. Going back to his doctor years, though, I do have a question for you. Were you ever one of the good doctor's patients?
No, I was not his patient. And, I haven't been one of his patients, but I'm sure he probably would have given me some advice just because he's that kind of a guy.
Sure.
Like I'm still like in contact with him when there's an opportunity. It's different though. It's kind of interesting. When you get to a certain position as a performer, it's you have to change your telephone numbers and your you move, things happen. So now I get in touch with him through his agent or manager. Sometimes on Facebook he'll read a message from me, or he'll comment on one of my posts. So he's actually still connected with social media. But one time he came out to Las Vegas to do stand-up a couple years ago. And I was like, oh, I can't believe he's going to be performing. I want to go see him. It's been a while since I've seen him. I've had children. He's had children. He's got married. But we were, good friends. So I had to reach out to him through his manager. And he reached out to me and said, look, Ken is really busy. He has to leave town immediately after the show. If you can you come to his green room before he performs?
Oh, cool.
And I said, yes, I can. I think he was performing at Treasure Island at that big theater where they do
the Cirque show.
Where they do one of the Cirque shows.
Mysteria.
Yeah. So, and it was a beautiful, beautiful theater. And it just so happened that my husband's a doctor, and he had doctor friends, a couple that were coming over to have dinner. And then I found out that he was going to be in town. I was like, oh my gosh, we got tickets to go see Ken Jeong. They happen to be fans of Ken Jeong.
Hey.
Of course.
Would you guys like to
isn't?
go meet Ken Jeong? They're like, are you kidding me? So we went into Ken. We saw Ken. These doctors were so excited to go see Ken Jeong. I was like, yeah, let's go see him. We went to the theater. We and my husband, and we went in the back in the green room, and he took time out away from his show before he was prepping for the show to come over and visit with us and talk with us and spend time, and was like holding our hands like,
Aw.
oh, it's so nice to meet you. And what kind of medicine do you practice? And just the most endearing kind. And this is after he had done Hangover and Community, like a bunch of TV shows. It was like only a couple years ago. Just like so humble and decent and like kind human being. And please, he's like, have all the fruit that you want. I mean, it was a giant like watermelon with every different type of fruit imagined in there. Like, it's unbelievable. So it was really nice. And we took pictures.
Wow.
And yeah, and people have those pictures on their celebrity walls.
Of course.
Because I know it was fun. So it was fun. And now I'm like a celebrity myself because now I know Ken Jeong, and now I'm a celebrity in my little whatever.
While you were in the green room with Ken, and was his wife, the lovely Dr. Tran Ho, in the building for the show?
No, she was not there.
Okay.
We spoke for a little bit. I told him how happy I was that he was doing extremely well. And he was just so humble and was like, thank you. He is very concerned about producing excellent work. That's just the way he is. He considers the art really important in putting out a good product. And he is concerned about individuals also. I just can't say enough things about him. He's just such a decent human being. Like, if you want one of your friends to do amazingly well and become a superstar, he is exactly the person you want that to happen.
Aww.
He's just a great guy. He's really good. I'm gonna cry now.
Oh my God.
I love him.
That's so
And
sweet.
I have a poster too that he signed. We have a New Orleans Comedy Festival poster, and he signed it to me. And I have it in my office. It's really cute. And he's just a nice guy. He's really nice.
Did he ever give you any words of wisdom or anything?
Yeah.
Like, I mean, you guys are in the same field.
We talked shop a lot of times. He was working, I remember when he was first starting out, and there were other Asian comics and who were doing really well and got some positions and stuff like that. And I guess, I don't know what it's like being a guy comic or being Asian. But there's like sometimes people are like, they compare you or they say there's only one slot for this type of person, in acting. And he was, he just was very concerned about doing a good job. That's just the type of guy he was, and just keeping focused on what he was doing and just making people laugh. But he had a manager, and his manager was, I think, Bud Friedman for a while, who owned the Improv. And he told him he picked him up kind of early when he came to LA and got him started. And Ken would tell me, yeah, I've got this little thing going and this little thing going. But he also considered it wonderful opportunities. Everything that he had, he valued the opportunity. He loved the journey. It was the journey. And I think that's what makes it, when you see him, you see how much he really enjoys being on stage.
Yeah.
He's having a blast, and that's infectious. You're watching him and you're like, this guy's having a great time. I want to have a great time,
Yeah, he seems like the kind of person, like, he's going to have a great time no matter what he's doing. He could be sitting there having a cup of tea. He's having the time of his life.
Mm-hmm.
Yes. Yeah. And I know his wife was, ill for a while. We've talked about medicine a little bit because he's asked me about my husband and his cases, and so we've talked a little bit about medicine because he really is a doctor.
Yeah.
He's a very good doctor.
Not just on TV.
No, a real one.
He's a real one. He's a real doctor. Yeah. So he's just a great guy. He's just a great guy, and I'm glad that the cancer is behind them, and he has a lovely family. He has girls, and I think he's got the wife. I think they have a little dog now. It's very cute. If you've seen the little dog pictures, I think he tries to get his little dog on his Instagram page. It's very cute.
I now have homework to go check out Ken Jeong's Instagram feed, as all of you should. And speaking of ways to see good Dr. Ken, well, check out K-Pop Demon Hunters on Netflix.
Duh.
Yeah, he voices their manager, which
Bobby.
is super cool. And then you can also see him on The Masked Singer, and I think another game show that he hosts on Fox too. So
99.5 to the wall or whatever.
something, yeah. 50 people competing for $1 million. Mm-hmm. So with that shameless plug that's not for us
at all,
I think that is going to do it for this week's episode. Pam, thank you for being here and being a total rock star.
Yeah, it was badass.
Yeah.
Thank you so much for having me. I really appreciate it. I had so much fun with you guys.
Aw, thanks, Pam.
We look forward to seeing you again sometime. And if you've got a celebrity encounter, we want to hear from you. So, and if you've got a celebrity encounter of your own, we want to hear from you. So drop a comment in the video or shoot us a message.
By pigeon.
Yeah, pigeons.
Yep.
The preferred way to get important information.
From the other realm.
The Other Realm?
Mm-hmm.
Okay, that's our next series, all about the Other Realm.
Thanks so much for watching, friends.
That's right. Remember, the void is to be stared in, the abyss is to be screamed into. Until next time, I'm John Rotellini.
I'm Hailey Brooks.
See you around.
Bye-bye.
Thanks for tuning in today, and if you enjoyed our show, please subscribe, rate, and review our podcast on all your favorite platforms. We'll see you next week with the next episode of Celebrity Encounter Podcast.